This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
So as much of the nation, you heard on national news there, is experiencing this monumental heat wave, Nashville is no exception. So as we welcome you in to the air-conditioned comfort of Mr. Acuff's living room, it's the Simply Superior Springer Mountain Farms Acuff House Studio. We're here on the Grand Ole Opry Plaza. Charlie Mattos, Kelly Sutton, David Reed, he's our studio director this week. Annie Nye is in search of a husband in Italy. And upstairs in master control, rock solid Jeff Roberts. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. So what I'm going to do is Friday, I'm going to do the show outside.
Oh.
So I'm going to my little hometown of Cross Plains, Tennessee, 37049. About 1,700 people who know how to act, mostly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. To Thomas Drugstore, historic Thomas Drugstore. You still got the soda fountain, and people greet you with a smile. They know what kind of pills you're taking.
Well, I'm not sure I want everybody to know that. That might be a little too much information right there. Of course, when your daughter is the druggist, that kind of helps. Right? You got the inside information there.
Lady druggist.
Lady druggist.
Yeah, she's our Ellie Walker.
Yeah. We don't do HIPAA in Cross Plains, apparently.
Yeah, you see somebody say, hey, what kind of pills you taking there? Like, well, why do you need to know? You want to share? You want to swap?
Probably.
Yeah, well, there's that. But historic Thomas Drug, Payne Chevrolet, the Tennessee Dairy Alliance, Barry and Becky Richards, my real-life neighbors, they're coming by. Exit Prime Realty, real estate is their game. And that's throughout the morning, we'll be doing updates on the television portion when we join here like we did this morning at 8 o'clock, or do every morning at 8, and then broadcasting remotely. Aaron Cooper's going to join me for a little bit and help post some stuff. So
well, make sure she's hydrated. Yeah. Kelly and I will be suffering here on the Opry Plaza in the air-conditioned house.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
We're givers.
Bucky heard of the Righteous Brothers going to come by that morning.
Oh, really?
So that's going to be cool.
Wow, that's very cool.
But I'll be there at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
We'll start 7 to 10.
Do you have a fan? Do you have something that you're taking with you to keep you cool?
They provide like a, how would you describe?
Box fan?
Box fan, thank you. And, but when you're sitting there staring into that sun by the time we get off at 10 o'clock, if it's like it is today or has been these last few days, there's no relief. You just wear black and lose weight.
That is not great advice. We do not condone you to do that today if you're out and about. Holy cow.
At least we're not roofing or, actually doing work.
No, guys, I'm not. Listen, I walked outside yesterday and I was like, no. And I walked back in. That was it. That was my extent of trying to get outside in nature and to feel one with, everything that was happening. Well, I sat outside for 5 seconds. And
you want to feel nature? Well, David Corlew, Charlie Daniels, Hall of Famer, longtime manager, 500-pound bull kicked him recently. 19 pins and 3 screws, I think it was, something like that.
Yeah, I'm an indoor girl, for sure. Listen.
I think he's an indoor cowboy at this point in time, still trying to get well.
I got nothing to prove. Entertainment headlines. Last night, major news. Taylor Swift is in town. She was here with her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, and she jumped up on stage. We've got the video. There was a kind of a benefit concert that was happening at Brooklyn Bowl. 1,200 people, and Taylor grabbed a guitar and did a number. So stay tuned for that video. Also, Matthew Ramsey donating $50,000 to help keep a middle school program alive. We've got all the details there. And Lainey Wilson doing a Beatles cover. Oh, it is so good.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
From the Assembly Food Hall stage, tuning his guitar, season 15 winner, American Idol Trent Harmon. Good morning and welcome in, man.
Good morning. Welcome to yourself, I guess.
It's good to see you. Pull that microphone on up close so we can hear you. We want to make sure that you get in there nice and tight. How's everything been?
Everything has been fine. Busy.
Yeah.
Busy. I have a little girl at home, so things are different.
We were just watching her cape and spin move,
Yeah.
very James
Yes.
Brown-esque.
Yeah, I love James Brown, so I have to tell Dolly that. Yeah,
She was spinning.
Yeah,
I showed
yeah.
it to Kelly a minute
She's
ago.
so cute.
she's my buddy.
How old is she?
She's about 18 months, almost 18 months.
Oh, she's precious.
Dolly Jean. Yeah,
Oh, that's so cute.
she's a sweet girl.
After Dolly Parton?
Of course.
Okay.
And Jean after our grandmother. Yeah,
That's perfect.
she's a sweet girl.
That's amazing. Does she like music? Is she very musical?
Loves music. And I don't, we don't ever want to push our job onto our kids, but it's just kind of, she's drawn to it. She can sing. She
Yeah.
can match pitch,
At 18 months?
She can match pitch.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I've seen videos of kids when they're little like that, and they said if you can train their ear when they're little,
Yeah.
they will have perfect pitch their whole
I
life.
believe that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but I mean, I guess it's kind of like the swimming thing. Just innately, they can do it if you bring that muscle out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you got new music. We'll share that here along
Yeah.
the way. It's your first full Christian project.
Yes, sir.
It's called Scars and Sins.
Yes, sir.
And that really is kind of where it started for you, right? In the church house at 5, singing Amazing Grace.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I've always. I mean, grew up in the South. I've always been in church, but like I said, once you have a child, I don't know. The things that I write about, the things that I care about, they're kind of reshaping, and my values are. I'm coming back to some of the things that I valued more as a young person, and I'm seeing her become a young person, and yeah.
It's crazy how it affects everything. Like, I always loved George Strait's song, I Saw God Today, right?
Yes.
And then when my son was born, I was like, it hit on a whole different level. And, like, it's not just music, though. It's everything in your life changes just a little, you know?
I think John Bellion just put out a project this past week, and he's got a Luke Combs feature on the record called "Why." And I saw a quote under the album notes, and he said, people tell you everything's going to change, like you just said, Charlie. Everything's going to change, but then when you actually have a baby, you realize the depths to which everything changes, and the legacy. Like, essentially, you become that child's memory. That's what everything you do is their memory bank, and so I want to harbor that, and I'm really protective over what she remembers about me and our family, and the songs that I put out.
It's funny. I'd like to joke, though. When my wife and I adopted a pug when we first got married, and we had to go to like 3 different classes to learn about the pug and how to take care of the pug. And when we had our Jackson, it was like, okay, here you go.
Yeah.
It was like, well, wait a minute, I learned more about the pug. What do I do? Ganyo, go
I
ahead.
love that.
Are you guys going to come visit us or anything? Nothing?
Have you found that there are some similarities? Raising a boy and a pug?
The pug is easier.
No doubt.
Probably
No
cheaper.
doubt.
Yeah.
No
Yep,
doubt.
yep, yep. Oh, my goodness.
Well, take me back to growing up in Mississippi and how you wound up on American Idol and won the doggone thing years back.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't intend to do the show. I wasn't, an aspiring. I was just trying to write. I was coming to Nashville a lot. I wanted a pub deal. I was playing rounds. I was on Broadway. Whatever it was, I was just throwing anything to see what would stick. And my girlfriend at the time, now wife, Kat, she just said, why don't you go audition? Kind of like anybody. And I said, I don't want to. Like, that's not really what. She said, yeah, but. You're waiting tables. Like, and there's nothing wrong with waiting tables. I did it for 15 years. She said, but what if you made, like that next jump into the next level of being able to name your rate for a show, just because you can put that name American Idol on your autograph slick or something. And thank God she did push me to do it. So
Who were your judges?
Keith was the judge that I was probably most closely,
Aligned
we
with.
could see us, yeah, and Harry Connick and J-Lo.
When you were in the midst of all of that, was there a moment where you were like, yeah, I just want to cash out right now. I don't want to be here? Because here's the thing. We have so many friends that have been through
Yes,
that whole thing.
of course.
And I think if they don't go in with a strong knowing of who they are and who they want to be as an artist, they have a lot of ideas thrust upon them.
Yes.
And it can be completely overwhelming. Did you have a moment like that?
I think so. I knew that I didn't. No offense to my West Coast family. I knew I didn't want to be based on the West Coast. I just knew I spoke a different language at a different speed.
At the speed of Mississippi?
It was a different speed. Mississippi is, to understand the world, understand Mississippi first. And then, but like, yeah, I did, but I was younger then, you know, that was 8, almost 9 years ago. That's a great way to put that. You have so many ideas just thrown at you, and you have to have some sort of compass. I was just telling Brittany yesterday, like, I had to call my pastor, my college pastor, a lot and say, hey, I got a hard question coming up in about 5 minutes. I need help. Give me some scripture. Give me something. Remind me of who I am for about 30 seconds. And he would, thank goodness. Shout out to Rob Leonard and his son David is in the Christian format. David Leonard doing big stuff, great stuff. But yeah, I had to check in to make sure that somebody could remind me of who I am a lot, or you'll forget. You'll forget. Somebody else will tell you who you are, and then you'll be that.
So you mentioned you were a waiter. Your family has like a ranch to table Longhorn?
Yes. Yeah.
Ranch?
Yeah. Not the chain. Yeah, we're older than the chain. We are. Yeah. Yeah. And they're still there doing the thing, man. I mean, busy. I was there waiting tables for about 15 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Armory, Mississippi?
Yeah, Amory.
Okay.
Everybody, even people from Armory, type Armory. So,
So you mentioned those Idol memories were 8 or 9 years ago. It was August of 2016. You're right across from the Grand Ole Opry where we're sitting.
Yeah.
Grand Ole Opry debut. What was stepping in that circle like?
I think for a lot of artists, especially at that age, there's a lot of imposter syndrome. You don't, and I that may be a little bit too honest, but you do really have to say, like, have I done anything worthy to be here? I haven't written a hit song yet. I haven't toured radio. I haven't, and but you know, if you get the music right and you step into that circle and you sing the right lyric as best as you can and perform it to the highest of your ability, you feel like you belong there to a degree, but you got to get the song right.
Yeah.
You can't sing, you can't stand up there and sing the ABCs. Like, you got to get the song right and have the right delivery for the audience.
I think what helps is too, everyone seems to, and I found it with a lot of people, there is such a welcoming feeling when you step in that building.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that. That's, again, I love everybody on the West Coast, but that's the difference in Tennessee and everybody else, the South and everybody else. It was like, no, man, come on in the house. You can hang out here. This is a safe place. And there's less of that in La La Land. There's less of that. Like, come on in, man. Yeah, you can play with us.
Well, I've often said that the Opry audience, they're pulling for you.
Oh, it's a home game every night. Like, it is.
Good way to put it.
Yes,
good way to put
it's a home game. Yeah.
That's Trent Harmon, and he's with us this morning with new music. Give us a setup to the song we're going to feature first. You'll See My Face from the new Scars and Sins album.
Yeah, so, man, that song, I wanted to write to a lot of people I wanted to talk to a lot of people that felt like they didn't deserve a place in a church house, or they might not be clean enough, if you will.
You don't know what I've done.
Yes, you don't know what I've done. Only I know what I've done, and I need to keep it that way. And I want to tell those people, if anything, yes, come on in the house. This is a home game. Like, you're on our team. It's okay. Because I always say they sell a lot more Hondas and Toyotas than Mercedes. Like, there's a lot more people out there that think they don't belong in church than feel like, oh, yes, I do. And that song is for those people. It's for me, I tell myself that.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Trent Harmon is here. Got new music. First Christian project, Scars and Sins. We heard You'll See My Face just a little bit ago, and he's going to play live for us. A lot of people may not know, after winning American Idol season 15, that you didn't make the cut when you auditioned for The Voice in New Orleans.
Yes.
You said that really did prepare you for American Idol.
Yeah, it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth for auditioning for stuff like that. I wouldn't say I was fully tricked. I mean, I was pretty grown at that point, but yeah, I thought, if I'm not good enough to even get anybody to turn around, why ever do it again? But you know, it was kind of like a good first at bat. I saw a lot of pitches. I saw how things worked. I saw the speed at which it goes, and I'd never played at that speed. I'd never gone, you know, just go, outfit change, makeup, off makeup, go to bed, get up, and yeah, it prepared me to be a lot more comfortable a year later.
So Little Rock is where you auditioned for Idol.
Yes, sir.
What was that process like? Where did you do it?
I think it was the Verizon Arena, and I didn't tell anybody. The only person that knew was Kathleen, and no one knew I did the show until, like, I don't know, top 50. I didn't tell anybody. My parents didn't even know. They found out. Somebody snitched. And they said, I think Trent's going to be on TV tonight. And,
Oh, wow.
yeah. And they had a picture of the back of my head, and they said, if this is him, my mom sent it to me. Is this you? Like, are you doing this?
It's a guy that looks like me, Mama.
Contractually, yeah, I can't tell you. Either way.
My doppelganger.
Yeah.
You know, I've always thought there were great comparisons between, you know, sports and music, but your comparison to seeing pitches and getting at bat, and that's the best analogy I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, you know, the first time you see a curveball, you think it's going to hit you.
Yeah.
And it's a lot like that, having, you know, okay, in your ears, work camera 1, now stage right, camera 5, and if you're not used to that, you're just not used to it.
Right.
You can't get used to that speed without doing it.
Yeah, that's some crazy thing to be having in your head at the same time, trying to remember lyrics.
Trying to sing
and everything
lyrics,
else.
and all right, Trent, 5, 4, 3. We're going to work camera 3 to stage left. And I'm like, I'm trying to remember the first words to a song that I just learned last night.
That's when you pop the in-ears out. And you're
Yes.
like, I'm just going.
Yes.
So I want to know about now putting out an album that is so personal and in the Christian contemporary lane. CCM is such an incredible format to be a part of. Does it feel more natural to you?
That's a really good way to frame that. Yeah. You know, I wouldn't say my values are changing. I would just say that I'm coming back to something that I'm more naturally able to write, more naturally able to play. I played to a church of 50 people. I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I thought, this feels, somebody would slap me for saying this, but I was like, this feels as good as Red Rocks. This made a difference today. Like, I made a difference today, you know, through Jesus, I made a difference today. I was a vessel for something that's going to change people and help them go about their day to day. And I always said, you know, at the end of a set, you know, on Broadway, on the road, if you're in an arena, you leave it all on the stage. When you get back to the hotel room, a lot of times you feel empty and you fill it with something else. You're looking for something else. You left it all on the stage, well, then you're empty. At the end of a worship set, I always felt full. I didn't feel the need to go back and, you know, hey, let's go out. Let's go find some people to link up with. I go to sleep. You can rest with the space between your ears. It felt better.
What are you going to play?
I'm going to play a song that I wrote with a couple of just, you know, 5-star writers here in town, Jimmy Robbins and Laura Veltz and Josh Thompson, some really good writers.
Oh, I love Josh.
Love Josh. Called Make Her Laugh. It's a song called Make Her Laugh.
More coffee, country, and Cody is on WSM.
Would you welcome to the Assembly Food Hall stage, Lauren Watkins, fresh off her Grand Ole Opry debut. What is your life right now? Check in, please.
Check, pulse check. Thanks for having me. Life is crazy right now. I'm still on a high from playing the Opry. I don't think it's going to go away for a while, I'll be honest.
How did it all come down that you got the invite? Was it a surprise?
It was a surprise. I was on tour with Zach Top, and it was like I think it was our last show with him, and he brought me up to sing a song, which was normal. We had been doing that, so that wasn't out of the ordinary. But after we sang, he was like, now wait 1 minute. And he said, I have some news to give you. And as soon as he said that, I just like kind of had a feeling, but I wasn't expecting it at all. But as soon as he said, I have some news for you, I was like, please be Opry, please. I was going to be really let down if it wasn't. But he was like, you're going to make your Opry debut on June 20th. And I was completely shocked. And it's even more of a shock when you're in front of like I don't know, like 5,000 people.
So where were you playing? You remember the town you were in?
We were in somewhere in Indiana.
We're in Indianapolis?
I think it was Indianapolis. Yeah, I think so. It's hard to remember where I am ever.
Do you know where you are now?
I think so.
It's like, I remember this place. But you grew up here, so the Opry means a lot to people all over the world, but
Yeah.
it's even more special when this was part of what you grew up with. Like, this was your backyard, basically.
Yeah,
kinda.
I mean, this was like, we went to so many shows here when I was growing up, and it was just always revered as so special and the biggest honor. Even when I was a kid and didn't fully understand the music industry or what all goes on behind the scenes, I always knew how important the Opry was. And that's from my family too. Like earlier we were talking about my Mimi, and she got to be at the Opry, and that was so special to her because her husband, so my grandfather who's passed away now, he loved the Opry. And so that was sort of passed down to all of us. Like, he grew up out in the country, and they would sit on their front porch listening to the Opry, and his dad would play the fiddle and just like play along. And I still have the fiddle today. Can't play it, but I have it in a shadow
Next
box.
best thing.
Yeah. I can look at it though. Right. And so it's just always like, it was always really special to us. So it was really cool to get to do it, and for all my family to be there to see it too.
And you said she is one who was never emotional, and she actually got very emotional.
Oh yeah, she is. And the thing about Mimi is like, I don't even know if I'd say she's unemotional. Like, she feels things. She's very thoughtful. She cares about all of us, but she's just not one to let it out. Like, she's not going to cry. She's very tough. And as soon as I got off stage, she was the first person that was right there, and I hugged her, and she was just sobbing, crying. So then, of course, it made me cry again, because I've already been crying all day. I was like, my eyes are going to be so puffy.
So Kelly, did you cry?
Almost. Yeah. Well, it was so cute because I got to introduce Lauren, and of course the whole place just goes nuts. And I'm like, okay, family's here, represented. And then you mentioned Mimi on stage.
Yeah.
You said, my Mimi's back here. And I look over, and there's this beautiful lady that's sitting there side stage in a chair. And I was like, that's got to be Mimi.
You just knew.
And her hair was done. Her makeup was perfect. She was sitting upright. And I'm like, I love her immediately. I want to talk to her. But watching her watch you, I mean, that was just it. Those are the moments.
Yeah.
Those are the moments. Like, all of this big world and all the things that you get to do, you never get to experience those type of things with your family, except for places like the Opry. Like, you can be on the stage with Zach Top in Indianapolis, but your family's not there.
Right.
So,
it's so true. Yeah, that was part of why it was so special. Like, and there was even a moment where all my family was sitting around in my dressing room right before I was about to go on stage. It was probably like 5 minutes before. And we were all just sitting there, and we were just having like a family moment. We were just sitting around like we do at home, just talking and laughing. And it was really calming me down before going on stage. And it was just so special because we used to do that all the time back when me and my sister were playing gigs here all the time. But like you said, now that I'm on the road, it's just so rare that happens. And so it was awesome.
Speaking of the road, you mentioned being on the road with Zach Top. Take me back to 2024. What was the Morgan Wallen experience like? Because that's got to be out there, right?
It was amazing. Yes, it's very out there.
Yeah.
That was another one that I was like, I can't believe, I don't know what's going on in life right now. But it was awesome. It was stadiums. It was like, I couldn't believe, because we would a lot of times play like 2 nights in a row, the same stadium sold out both nights. And I'm just like, I can't even fathom somebody being able to do that. Like, that's just such a rare thing. And it was so cool. Those type of shows are so different than just playing a small club. Like, I had to really learn how to use up the stage and engage with the crowd, because they're a lot further away from you. And so it was a huge learning experience. It was so much fun. I learned a lot from him too, just getting to watch his show every night and just sort of pick up on things that other artists don't do, that I just learned a lot.
In the distance is an interesting thing, because even like the front row is like me to you.
You can't like touch
They're
them.
not on top of it. Yeah,
Right.
it's a ways away. Yeah.
Especially when someone's like trying to hand you a cowboy hat to sign, and I'm like,
Right.
if I reach I'm going to falter.
Yeah.
So I tried to just stay away from
Do you ever have the moment that you turn around for a second and suddenly you realize there's like a 50-foot you on this Jumbotron screen?
Yes.
It's like, whoa, okay, hello.
Yes. The first time I played with me on a big screen, I remember someone, it was probably my manager, she was like, you got to stop looking at the screen. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm obsessed with it. Like, if I look at my, like, this piece of hair, it's like literally 10 feet long, I got to look at it.
There have been those moments where I posted something at CMA Fest and I'm like, oh, I'm never wearing this belt again.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
You see
it was literally that. It was like, I was like, I'm never wearing those jeans again. Who let me go on stage?
Don't let me look like that.
Who's in charge of me?
Who's in charge? Yeah.
I was at the Opry one night and tossed to something on the Jumbotron screen, right? And as I turned, I'm about a second ahead of the screen, so I see me, and I'm like, I have never seen the back of my head from that angle. We are wearing hats for the rest of our lives now. No one will ever see that angle again.
Well, you're in good company because it happened to Vince
Yes,
one night.
yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So humbling. It keeps me grounded.
Coffee, Country, and Cody on WSM.
Well, shoot, we should have talked about haunted houses on the
I
air.
know.
In the first part of the interview with Lauren Watkins, who was with us on the Assembly Food Hall stage. One of the great quotes about you that I have seen, I loved it. And it was in the boot that said, Lauren Watkins on making heartbreak sound good. And it went on to say, even if she isn't heartbroken herself.
You mentioned that you were touring with your sister when you were little, like you were playing places around here. Did you have a name for the duo?
Well, funny that you ask, because we had a few different names.
Oh,
over
I
the
want to hear them
years.
all.
And there was Sarah Watkins with Nickel Creek, too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Throwing her in the mix.
Well, if only we had known. That would have made us a lot better.
So what did you go by?
So when we were, I'm trying to think how old we were when we started, because we were young. I would say like 7th and 8th grade when we started playing gigs.
Sure.
And I say air quotes because, we would play backyard barbecues. We'd play pool parties, like things like that. And at the time we were playing with a friend of ours named Mary Haley. Shout out Mary Haley. And we called ourselves Song of the South.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
And
Does Randy Owen of Alabama know this?
I was going to say that was probably a copyright issue. Luckily, we weren't putting any music out, so nobody knew.
Sure.
It was just like written on cardboard signs, like when we'd play. And so that was for a while, and then me and my sister were kind of branding ourselves as a duo, and we just went by the Watkins.
Okay.
And then my sister started to really lean into her songwriting thing. I started leaning into the artist thing. We sort of parted ways on the artist front. And so now I'm just Lauren Watkins.
Well, she joined us 5 years ago when Drunk Girls in Bathrooms came out.
She did?
So she was at our hotel studio.
No way.
Yeah, kid you not. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. So now you just got to both come in together at some
Yeah.
point. We'll just do a little writer's round or force or
Just
something. Right?
let us know when.
Well,
Getting the band back together.
Getting the band, literally.
You said that you were writing with her, and all I could think about was Jordan Davis and Jacob Davis. I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
they write together all the time. And there are
Yes.
some other brother
There's a
duos.
lot. There's a lot more
Yeah.
than you think.
And
Yeah.
it's so cool to watch them win an award together.
Yeah.
Like, I think they won a CMA award, and seeing them on stage together, I thought, that's even more special.
Yeah.
So let's just put that in the future for you.
No, I'm totally with you. And we've talked about that a lot too, because we've gotten that comparison. Like people will be like, wait, that sounds just like Jordan Davis and his brother. And also the Warren brothers, who are both songwriters.
Oh, they are so
love
good.
them.
And I'm super close with them. And so and Caroline is as well. So we just feel such a connection on the, sibling level. And it's really cool. It's cool to watch people like that are years ahead of us in career, and just seeing how they've won and how they handle it, how they're still able to be so close. They're still family. They're still best buddies, and they can also have success together. So we learn a lot from them. Like we are always asking them for advice, and
That's awesome.
Well, we made a reference to Morgan Wallen being out with him and Zach Top earlier. Tell me about Riley Green, Lainey Wilson, what that is,
Yes.
especially with Lainey and
That's
female
coming
artists.
up, right?
yeah, that'll be sort of little later this year in the fall.
Okay.
And I'm so excited about it. It's cool, like all of those artists are people that I really look up to a lot as artists and just as people, how they carry themselves, how they like have done certain things in their careers. And so we just started on the Riley tour and it's been so awesome. Like, it's really fun when somebody when an artist and their band and team are all just really good people. And that's how we felt with the Riley tour. They've taken great care of us. All of his band guys have been so sweet, and we already feel like we've gotten to be friends with them. Mm-hmm. And the Lainey tour, I've just heard, I don't know Lainey super well. I've met her like one time, but I've heard literally not a single bad thing about her or anybody that she surrounds herself with. And I think that just says so much about a person. Obviously, I also look up to her a lot just as a female artist who she absolutely crushes it. She's one of those people that I love to just watch her performance. Like, I've never seen anybody do it like she does, and it's so inspiring to me. And she's kind of like when I'm really nervous before going on stage, sometimes I just think about other artists and like, okay, if they can do it, so can I. And she's one that comes to mind all the time. I'm like, she just inspires me a lot.
Well, you talked about owning the stage earlier. That girl,
nobody can do it like her.
First night I ever saw her when she debuted at the Grand Ole Opry, and she came out. She'd been on the morning show with us that morning. And she was kind of dressed down, didn't do much with hair and makeup. And then she showed up, and it was like, whoa. She hit that stage, and I said, man alive.
Yeah.
I don't know where she's going, but she's going.
But I'm following. Yeah, owning is the right word, because it's like just this command, like this very strong confidence. And I love that.
You do Madison Square Garden with her.
Yes.
That's the Mecca, the world's most famous arena, right?
I know.
I mean, pretty cool. And then Watershed as well.
Yeah.
In just a few weeks.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. We got to do Watershed a couple years ago, and ever since I can't wait to go back. But yeah, Madison Square Garden is crazy. That's one I didn't, that's just like one of those bucket lists for everybody. And I never saw it happening so early. Obviously, I'm not the one selling it out, but like just to get to be a part of it is really special.
You don't have to tell people that.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I think they'll find out.
My first show at Madison Square Garden was just last year. Went to see Kelsey and Tiger Lily Gold. And
oh my gosh,
the girls of Tiger Lily Gold were in the same spot. They were there, and it was absolutely packed for them.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody was in that building, and talking to them afterward, they just took away so much from being in that building.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's the thing.
Really cool.
Like, you're in the room, girl. You're in the room and on the stage.
Yeah, that's all that counts.
That's it. Yeah, that's amazing.
And it's just delightful to have you in this room.
Thank you.
Mr. Acup's living room is where our studio is.
Yeah, that's really crazy. I can't believe that he lived here.
Yeah,
it's so
from
wild.
1984 till he passed in 1992. He was here. Of course, Opryland, the theme park, was open. He was our ambassador, and he was working with Minnie at the Opry, doing those shows, matinees back in those days because of the park. And he had a place to come chill out in between shows. And
gosh.
Greet the people when they came in. You know?
Yeah, that would be really nice to have a place to live right where you're about to be performing. We were talking earlier about the Carter Family Fold, where they're like, instead of touring, we're just going to build our own venue and y'all can come to us. I like that idea.
That's what a lot of people are doing on Broadway these days.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lauren Watkins. We're going to close with Shirley Temple. How has this changed your life?
Shirley Temple. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's so crazy that this was the first song I put out. Looking back, I'm like, it's sort of crazy that the team let me put out a ballad as my first song, because you know how people are about that. But I just think that was me being true to myself and thinking that was the song I just felt most passionate about at the time. And I couldn't believe that it caught like it did. I just couldn't believe that people like really felt it and related to it. And that was what I was hoping for. So it's been really, really, really awesome and special for me to see that happen.
Well, so has this visit. So thank you. You're just lovely.
Well, thanks.
I appreciate
Y'all
it
are
so much.
sweet. Thanks for having me.
Lauren
Go
Watkins.
Rebels.
Yeah, that's right.
Ole Miss, St. Cecilia. Shout out to
That's
St.
right.
Cecilia.
Hometown.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
24 years ago today, Ryman Auditorium, Mother Church, home of the Opry, 1943 till we moved here on the Opry Plaza, 1974. Designated as a National Historic Landmark. And you were there last night at the Mother Church, Kelly, for Bluegrass Nights, week number 2. Rhonda Vincent, who was with us yesterday, will be there next week, July 1st. Rhonda. It's also the 1987 remembrance of the death of Boudleaux Bryant. Felice and Boudleaux, Country Music Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
And what's amazing is I will be 67 in December. Boudleaux was 67 when he passed. And I would have thought he was, in his 80s or 90s in my mind.
Yeah.
But
Well-
so the first Nashville songwriters, people who came to Nashville to write, that's what they did. They wrote.
And Rocky Top has to be the most famous song.
She said that was her favorite, Rocky Top on a Saturday in Knoxville.
Yeah. Bye Bye Love. That's pretty strong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I have a really cool blanket that they gave me from the Hall of Fame when they did their
Induction.
whole induction. And it's so cool. It's a beautiful fleece blanket, and it has their names in a little heart on the corner. And I think about them all the
Oh,
time. Isn't
that's
that fun?
great. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I ended up with a gift basket, but I did.
Well, they
So
did
I'm like,
Out Behind the Barn that little Jimmy Dickens used to always open his Opry sets with, too.
Oh,
which I just
really?
loved,
They,
yeah.
they wrote it all back in the day. Those early hits that we're referencing here, and so many more.
So cool.
remembering Boudleaux this morning.
All right. Well, this is pretty cool too. We love Old Dominion. I do not hide the fact that I am an Old Dominion fan. And Matt Ramsey just makes it that much easier to love him. He just did something really cool, made a $50,000 donation to keep the concert band alive at Nashville's J.T. Moore Middle School. So, little backstory. Apparently, the school announced in March it was going to have to do away with the program due to lack of funding. So, parents organized a Band Together campaign to try to keep it going. They were trying to raise funds so that they could have a band teacher. Well, they had raised about $15,000. At that point, Matthew steps in, donates $50,000 from the Ramsey Foundation. That's enough to get a part-time band director and to help keep the program alive. Now, the goal is still ongoing. They really would like to get about $92,000 by the end of June. That would allow them to hire somebody full-time and to help get instruments and things for the kids. So you can find out more online if you would like to make a donation to that. But that was just the coolest. I mean, we do so much for CMA, and CMA does a lot for schools. But this is just a one-to-one. Like, you see the need, he opens his wallet and makes the donation.
Do his kids go there by chance, or he just?
I'm guessing. I don't know that, but
yeah.
I'm guessing. Yeah, that's just the coolest. Also, Old Dominion has another track coming out from Barbara. That's the name of the album. Barbara is August 22nd.
With Kelly
comes
Sutton
out.
on the album cover. Check out that picture.
If I get to go see them at all on tour,
Are you gonna
I will dress up like that.
I love it.
The Barbara cover is iconic already. Man or the Song is the name of the new track that we're going to get on Friday from the guys. All right, Jake Owen, get ready. Here you go, friend. You're going to Bristol. No, you're not going to be driving. You're just going to be singing, but it is pretty cool they're doing this. This is a part of the MLB Speedway Classic happening August 2nd. It took a minute for me to put it all together, like MLB and the Speedway. So they're playing baseball, just in case you were wondering if I got all of the letters wrong. No, I'm correct. This is going to be really cool. It's the Cincinnati Reds and the Braves playing each other at Bristol, but of course they've got stages with all kinds of music. Jake is going to be headlining the show at the Speedway Classic Fan Zone. There's also going to be a 110-foot Ferris wheel, so you can't miss that. And you've got the Clydesdales there from Budweiser, so stop by and take a picture with them. Adam Doliak, Raina Roberts, and Timothy Wayne will also be performing. And previously announced and will be in attendance, Tim McGraw and Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide, will take the stage inside the venue about an hour before the Atlanta Braves and Cincinnati Reds face off against each
Can
other.
we have the race as well as the baseball game going on at the same time?
Now,
Ooh,
that
good
would
fumes.
be
I like
fun.
that. Yeah. Well, they're playing on the inside, a race on the outside, right? Yeah.
I mean, you know what? That's a twofer, and I like it. I wonder if Tim's going to throw out the first pitch.
Oh, I would like to think so.
Oh,
Well, or
I hope
Pitbull,
so.
or both.
Or
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
That would be pretty awesome.
That's strong.
Yeah,
Man,
we'll have to
man,
wait
man,
and
man.
see. 4th of July is coming. I know it feels like we're already in the middle of August because it's so hot all over, but we will be breaking records with this 4th of July. Not for the heat wave, but for the number of people who will be flying, who will be driving, who will be traveling. 72.2 million people are expected to travel at least 50 miles away from home over the 4th of July holiday period. That actually starts June 28th and goes until July 6th. Now, this is according to AAA. They say it's a 1.7 million more people than last year. 7 million more than traveled in 2019. So people are on the move. They anticipate a record 5.84 million passengers are going to fly domestically from the holiday, and there are going to be a lot of people on the roadways. Good news is ticket prices are down. So going to cost you, I don't know, around $260 round trip if you're flying in the U.S.
And where are you flying?
I'm going to be flying to New York.
And Charlie, where are you going?
Down to Panama City.
Yeah. So
Well, I'm
have
going to drive to Chattanooga.
Well, there you go.
I mean,
Well,
I can't hold up against you guys, but just doing my part.
It's a trek from where you are. A little closer
Yeah,
from me. Yeah.
probably take us about the same time.
Yeah.
How long is the drive to Chattanooga? About 2 hours, 3?
It's 2 from downtown Nashville. It's about an hour and 45 from where I am.
Yeah.
So,
the flight to New York's like an hour and 30, I think. So.
So like 2.5 for us.
yeah,
I
you
guess.
get the hour coming back, which is nice because, the time change.
Yeah,
But-
that's pretty cool. So you're driving. They say gas prices are the lowest they've been since 2021. So that's good news.
They are so, and I don't know if it's a Nashville thing, Middle Tennessee thing. They're so all over the map here.
Yeah.
Like 40, 50, 80. We had an 80-cent difference from where we are in Cross Plains to Brentwood the other day.
Yeah.
Well, I think any exit at a major city is going to be 40 to 50%, 40 or 50 cents higher than
Yeah.
You
if
think
you
so?
went 20 miles in the middle of nowhere. It's because you just have too many options. Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Costco has been my friend for gas.
Oh, really?
Costco has good gas. Good gas. Got to fill up there. Now you spend way more
got
because
the
you
good
go,
gas.
you
He said
go
good ethyl.
inside.
We got that ethyl, man. I'm telling you.
Well, listen, you go shopping in a Fiat, you can only buy so much at Costco.
That's probably what I
It
need.
does limit your shopping ability.
You don't have to put premium gas in it, do you?
The Fiat, it takes the middle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. The
mine's
Z3
premium.
takes the highest.
Yeah, and that is
Yeah.
expensive. Man, it jumps big
Yeah.
time from regular
Yeah.
unleaded.
The Fiat still gets 35 a gallon, though, and it's, 13 years old.
Oh, that's
So,
really
Can
good.
I drive it to Chattanooga?
yeah,
Oh.
well, you can try.